Good morning and welcome to today's version of Daily Divas. Today's verse is Isaiah 26:3. It says, "You will keep perfect peace, those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." Wow. Peace, the ever elusive peace, right? So, one of the things that I have found, and earlier this morning I was watching the Today Show. They had Mel Robbins on there, and she has the best-selling book out right now called Let Them. And the premise is it's a reminder of things we learn in the Bible, of things that we learn from ancient thought leaders, things we learn from modern day thought leaders, is quit being concerned with everybody else and be focused on what you are to be and what you were created to be and your joy and your peace, right? So, um, part of this perfect peace is knowing and having trust in God. And it's crazy to me how so many times I can look through life and feel the pinch, the pinch of way too much month at the end of the paycheck, way too much chaos going on, illness in the family, challenges with health, challenges with wealth, challenges with everything, right? And when I stopped focusing on those and started focusing on the one that could solve all of those problems, right? The one omnipresent God that could solve all of those problems, the peace came over. Several years ago, when my husband was in the hospital, I had my husband, my brother, and my sister-in-law all in the hospital at the same time on 3 different floors of the same hospital, and this was all during COVID. And the first couple of days when I put my husband in the hospital, I sat there with my phone, staring at my phone for 3 solid days. I didn't call anybody. I didn't text anybody. I just sat there and waited for somebody to call me, waiting for that impending doom of a bad message to come across the message. And it's in that I realized I had to kind of do, like they say in Moonstruck, and snap out of it, right? I had to snap out of it, and I had to start putting my trust and my peace into what God had to say. That I cannot control the circumstances around me. I can redirect how I respond and how I let them affect me mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, right? So all of this came about yesterday. I was on a call with somebody, and they were kind of in a uh, have you ever tried to coach somebody? Let's put it this way. Have you ever tried to coach somebody and they are completely uncoachable? It does not matter what you tell them. They always are thinking up an excuse. They can't just take the information in and sit with it for a little bit. They've got to immediately come up with an excuse. This was that type of phone call. And one of their excuses was mainly about people pleasing. And it was like, but I've done everything I know to do to get them to like me. And my response to him was, you shouldn't be focusing on getting them to like you. You should be doing your best in spite of how they feel about you. And as soon as I said that, I had to sit in that for a minute. Because isn't it crazy how God will put words in our mouth that we need to hear, but we won't hear them from somebody else, but we'll hear them when they roll out of our mouths, and then we go, right? Like, oh my God. that may have not been meant for the person I was talking to. They may have been meant for me, right? So I think a lot of women get caught up in the chaos. I know for me in particular, get caught up in the chaos of trying to please everybody instead of trying to be what they were created to be. So why don't we, instead of trying to please people with a peaceful situation, why don't we try being in peace? So I want you to look at your list. Whenever I work with clients, I have them put, for those of you that don't know, I do coaching and helping people with authors, speakers, podcasters, speak and do all that, put all their programs together and automate them for revenue. But when I help people out, I build out their schedule and I give them a daily a daily sheet, and it's broken down by 15-minute increments, and I have them document what all they do every 15 minutes for the whole day for like 3 to 5 days. And when we do that, it helps us to see where our time is getting robbed. It helps us identify the things that we're doing that we really don't like to do, that we think we have to do because nobody else will do it. Well, here's the beautiful thing about delegation. Once you learn how to delegate, it becomes a lot easier. So we break that down, and in those 15-minute pockets, we also find what's robbing our joy and our peace. We find what's giving us joy and peace. And we want to maximize the things that give us joy and peace, because that makes us better in a creative sense, that makes us better in a relationship sense, that makes us better in an endorphin sense, right? So we want to focus on those things, but we know there's some things on our list that we either may have to do or we may have to work to get them ready to delegate to somebody, right? So in that process, we are searching and mining for our peace. So whether you do my 15-minute chart or not, if you want the 15-minute chart, just write 15 in the comments and I will get that 15-minute chart sent to you. But what is robbing you of your peace today? Where can you shift your focus from fear to faith? Sitting there in my living room looking at my cell phone for 3 days solid, it was building up anxiety. It was building up fear. It was building up waiting for that next shoe to drop, right? And really, all I had to do was put the phone down, dig into my Bible, start having a conversation with God, and the peace immediately came. Clarity came. I felt more on top of things, all of that. Once you find your peace, so many other things just fall in line like a domino procession, right? And what practice helps you quiet your mind and rest in God? For some people, it's sitting still. For some people, it's a dance party. I personally like dance parties, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I know, shocker. But I do like the song Shake It Off. The reason I like the song Shake It Off is because it reminds me that when my shoulders are up here and I'm feeling all the weight and the worries of the world, that I can shake it off and I can release what is holding me all tight, right? So, like I said, our verse today is, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. So are you willing to trust God today? Are you willing to trust that He has the power and the potential to bring peace to you? Again, just like with grace, all you have to do is receive it. And the challenge questions: what is robbing you of peace today? Where can you shift your focus from fear to faith? And what practice helps you quiet your mind and rest in God? So I hope that you take some time this week and sit in this and the reason we did this today was it's coming on a weekend, and I wanted you to be able to have time to focus on this message and to sit in the peace of this message and realize that the perfect peace that God can bring to you in the middle of crazy chaos is something that once you experience it, you will do everything you can to stay in that peace. You won't let chaos rule your life anymore. You will say, you're not going to bust my peace bubble, right? So today, I want you to find ways to protect your peace at all costs. So again, for those of you that are watching the video, whether in real time or in replay, if you drop 15 in the comments, I will send you my 15 minute a day chart and help you figure out where your peace is being robbed each day and where you find your peace each day. And then we can talk about how to build up more peaceful moments in your day. So meditate on Isaiah 26:3 and also answer the questions. I would love to hear how you're mining for your peace this weekend. Y'all have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye now.